Hi Aries, and welcome to your November 2021 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky coming on to talk to you about your lovely month ahead of November. Let's see what's coming up for you. Yes, it looks like you are in for a bit of a wild ride, actually. You are going to really be leveling up this month through facing what you haven't been able to face yet. There is a sense for everyone in the month of November of not just revealing to themselves what they haven't faced, but like actually facing it. So not just thinking about it, but like stepping into motion with how they need to move on. And I think that you're going to come out of the month of November in a much more holistic, creative, and just exceptional place as compared to how you enter it. So it's a transformative month. This is typically a transformative time of the year as it's Scorpio season. And for Aries this month, you by far have an easier time than a lot of signs, but you do have a mindset or a trauma or a previous heartbreak that is asking to be overcome this month, I think. Also, as you guys know, I usually do intuitive messages followed by a week-to-week tarot forecast and an extended reading on Patreon. For those of you who are new, hit that subscribe button. But yes, continuing with intuitive messages, you have something to create. You have a labor of love coming in, Eight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, changing up your relationship with the material, with wealth, with creation, with your creative capacity. And it's kind of going in a very chronological way. Like from the beginning of the month, you have this sort of new emotional sort of feeling of emotionality coming in. You might have random tears or random even like relief, like tears of happiness, tears of joy, and also bittersweet experiences that could come up, which then inspires you creatively, you know, with Eight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, which gives you like a monetary and material reward, which then sends you into a psychological territory, which then inspires you to evolve and overcome. Interesting little series of events this month. I think that this is the most transformative month for you in a long time. Something else I'm feeling for Aries in November is that you've got to start loving what you're involved in. You've got to stop downplaying your success. You've got to also not be too motivated by illusions of grandeur or by comparison bias as well. It feels like Aries can very easily have a grass is greener on the other side complex, and they can also downplay the success of what they currently have. So you're being called in November to basically see the abundance of what you have in order to overcome it, or in order to get to the next place, the next pinnacle that you want to see yourself in. Also, I'm sensing a bit of a clumsiness, or I'm sensing a this is happening for everyone. We have crazy T-squares, rare T-squares happening astrologically, which means that there's a kink or a knot or some type of misjudged or unanticipated or kind of surprise obstacle that many of us have to face. And this isn't just an Aries thing. This is for everyone. And for you, Aries, I think it deals with how you identify something as a problem, how you tend to worry, how you tend to feel that your experience is less than another person's experience, or that you have also an issue with like self relationships, so self-esteem, insecurities, not knowing the value that you're bringing to the table in any given situation, and in essence downplaying it, or even you could even see that you're contradicting it in a lot of ways. Like you could see that you might be telling someone like, I've not been able to do this well, I've not gotten enough sleep, I'm having writer's block, I'm whatever it is, and you don't even have to tell these people that, like, they've never even identified a problem. Like what you've presented to them might be the best thing in the world, but because you stand there telling them that you're having all these problems, they might start to associate it with not the best thing in the world, which is like if you wouldn't have said anything, it would have all went well. So that's where we get into that Nine of Swords thing, and that's coming up for healing this month. I want to go ahead and jump into your week-to-week Aries so that I don't ramble too much about the intuitive messages. But in the first week of November, you've got the Page of Cups rooted down by the Six of Swords. Okay, so you've got to have a transition in how you emotionally communicate. Okay, Page of Cups being about youthful emotional communication, Six of Swords being about transition. So the way that you choose to communicate emotions, at what point in time you tell someone that you're hurt or dissatisfied or opposite, at what point in time you compliment someone, or at what point in time you voice your satisfaction. These things are changing. And I think that that's where your power is going to be at to some degree, is coming to a new powerful communication that is seeing emotions as a strength instead of a weakness. And also just changing up like maybe who you share so much with as well. Six of Swords usually denotes a change in surrounding people. So the people we live with, the people we work with, the people we are trusting usually change when Six of Swords is coming in. So it seems like you might be trusting new people. Okay. And that might be indicated. Maybe it's time to build new trusting relationships instead of trying to constantly change the ones that are already here, banging our head up against a brick wall. Week 2, Eight of Pentacles rooted down by King of Pentacles. Beautiful, beautiful combination, magic combination. Rewards for your hard work, crafting a labor of love and being complimented for it, making the right choice in business, making the right choice in creative projects, being a creative leader. Okay, week number 2, that's stamped, sealed. Let's move on. You're doing something right there. Take note in the second week of November, because that's a great little snippet or a great little hint about how to handle the third week. Three of Swords rooted down by Nine of Swords. It's like you have a tendency, or maybe we all have a tendency right now, to think things are too good to be true, or to doubt that you've done things right. Imagine you've undertaken a creative project, you come out of it on the other side of it, people compliment you, and then after you've finished your masterpiece, you start to doubt it and you start to think, whoa, what if I didn't do it right actually? What if I actually made the wrong choices? What if I painted that painting with the wrong colors? What if it doesn't last? What if the person that bought that painting ends up not liking it in the future and they want like a refund? What if, like all these like what if situations that follow success if you let it. Anything can be this way. Okay, any of you creatives out there, any of you leaders out there as well, once you finish a project, once you have done what you needed to do, doubt can always follow, because you're the person who did it. You're the person who created it. You're the liable party. And if we don't choose to trust the universe and trust God about how we did in the past, we can always fear shadows of weeds. I like to tell this story a lot, but when I first started running, a lot of you know I'm a runner. When I first started running, and I tend to like running at nighttime, at certain times of the moon, it would cast shadows onto the road, and the weeds growing on the sides of the roads looked like snakes because of the shadows that they were casting on the road. And this would always freak me out. Sometimes I'd be running and I'd just be off in a different world, and I would suddenly see in my peripheral vision what looks like a snake, but it's not. It's the shadow of a weed. We have to be very cautious about thinking that weed shadows are snakes during this time. It's very easy. It's very easy in this paradigm because the veil is so thin, and at the same time we seem very blind to what's on the other side of it. We have to open our eyes, and I'm seeing so many people, more than I ever have in November of 2021, with the eyes covered or with blindfolds on or not looking at what's here. So I don't really know what the answer to that is as a reader. Like, all I can really see is that so many people are just not looking at the facts, not looking at what's here, and instead, because they're like covering their eyes, if you put enough pressure on your eyes and you cover them for long enough, you start to see stars. It's not reality. It's not real. They're not there. It's an illusion. So as we blindfold, as we cover the eyes, we open ourselves up to false realities. Between now and Pisces season, that could really grow. So what I think that we need to do is we need to just get everything in front of us. For some people, we've just got way too many things we're involved in. We can't ever hope to understand how it all works. And should we really bother ourselves with that? I think that we have done so much for a reason, and maybe there's a moral in this story to trust our present moment and to output well so that we don't have to worry about the future. But anyway, in the third week of November, you want to try to know that there are certain aspects of your life that other people can't take away from you. As I feel that Three of Swords and Nine of Swords, something they have in common is like a fear of having something taken away, like losing your love relationship. Fear that you've, not done something properly, that you're going to get criticized, or, you're going to have some type of consequence for negligence or something. Both of those cards deal with that. So there's got to maybe be something in your life that can't be taken away from you. So I would definitely, and I think this is a beautiful little bit of clarity here. Is there too much focus on temporary things, money, business, possessions, appearances, looks, inconsequential relationships? These types of things that kind of, with the Wheel of Fortune, change up in our lives. Like, with one slight change, oh no, I won't have that money. With one slight change, oh no, that person's not going to like me anymore. With one slight change, oh no, my business is not making money anymore. These things are not great because we seem to be very afraid of loss, or very afraid of not having something in the third week of November. And I think that what we have to do, the universe is kind of saying, like, nothing is permanent. We don't take any of it with us, right? Like, our bank accounts don't come with us 100 years from now. So if we are over focusing on those types of things, it's going to be a Nine of Swords experience always. It's going to be a Three of Swords experience always, or it's going to loom. Those things are going to loom to some degree because these are non-permanent things. These are gifts from the universe. Yes, of course, having prosperity in your life, having money, having success, having popularity, any of those things are great gifts to have. But they are kind of like the tides, right? Like, it's kind of a part of this planet that nothing like that can ever be fixated or made permanent, ever. And I think a lot of us are wanting that type of permanence. This year cycle deals a lot with the creation of longevity and the semblance of permanence. So a lot of us might be trying to make certain things that can't be that. And that's where that's coming from. So I would suggest in the third week of November, moving into the fourth week, it's like, fourth week, the world rooted down by Page of Wands. Maybe what's a little bit more permanent, which can be your outlook. An outlook can actually be more permanent. A level of integrity can also be permanent if you choose, a choice to be kind and respectful to other people can be permanent. Who you're related to is also permanent, even regardless of what the nature of that relationship is, or regardless of whether there's like estrangement or closeness. Nonetheless, a family tree is a permanent thing. What else is permanent? I keep going back to outlook, with the world, holistic things. But I also feel a lot of people who might come face to face with this realization that, like, some of the only things I can control in life are my outlook, my integrity, my background. That's also a pretty fixed thing. At least when it comes to reality, they can be portrayed differently, but things that have happened in the past have indeed happened. So anyway, I see a lot of people coming face to face with that and being like, but where's the value in that? Where's the money in that? Where's the, an outlook doesn't pay dividends. Ooh, but does it? Does it? Does an outlook have an effect on one's prosperity? I think it does. So in a way, you see another, like, I guess, backhanded fortune, or another way to kind of have more prosperity in your life. And that deals with outlook, sure. But we need to keep it coming from there instead of coming from, like, this business or this job or this income stream or this marriage, because all those things are not going to get us ease. So Page of Wands, creativity is another great, it fluctuates as well, but it's always great to build creative capacity. New creative hobbies, new creative abilities, new qualifications, and just really new holistic outlooks that make Aries really strong. So anyway, Aries, I'm going to talk more about that in your extended reading. If you would like to get weekly bonus forecasts as well as early ad-free and extended readings, check out my Patreon page. I'll link it below and in the center of this screen. It's a great little service. We have a great time over there. If you haven't joined yet, why not? It's a great value. It's very reasonable. So check it out. I'll talk to you soon. Let's do that extended reading. Have a great November. Bye.